Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Star Wars Obi Wan Kenobi teaser trailer and breakdown of the footage that they showed off at the Disney investor meeting. There was a bunch of footage that they didn't allow to be online. I'll explain what that is because it gives you a much better idea of what's happening during the series and what the plot actually is. Alternate title, Hello There, A Star Wars Story. If you're new to the channel, of course I'll be doing videos for all the new Star Wars Disney Plus series that they announced. There was a bunch of new Marvel series they announced too that I've been talking about in my Marvel trailer videos. There's 10 new Star Wars series that they're developing for Disney Plus and 10 new Marvel series, so it is going to be amazing for the next couple of years. But probably the biggest news out of this is that they're bringing back Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. So they are going to have a rematch. I'll explain how that's going to work because they did show off some scenes during the actual panel footage that weren't allowed online that kind of explained what their relationship is during the series. Because as they say, this takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, which is about 9 years before A New Hope. And if you've been a Star Wars fan for a long time following the canon, the expanded material, you know that Obi Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader didn't have another rematch after Mustafar until they were on the Death Star together. So I think they're just bending over backwards a little bit because they didn't want to go through the trouble of bringing Hayden Christensen back and hyping this up as a big rematch without actually letting them fight. Let them fight. Everybody post all your memes. But obviously it won't be their final rematch because that's going to wind up being the Death Star. The same thing happened with Obi Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul. They had several different rematches. He tried to kill him several times. It didn't stick till much later in the timeline. I'll explain Darth Maul during the series too, because there have been rumors about him showing up, but they didn't talk about him during the panel. They were mostly trying to focus on the fan service of bringing Hayden Christensen back. The whole reason for bringing him back though, because Darth Vader normally walks around with his helmet on and speaks with James Earl Jones' voice, so why would you need Hayden Christensen? Well, it's for scenes like this where you get to see him without his helmet on when he's in his regeneration chamber or his Bacta tank, or even better, when he gets his mask damaged in battle and the vocoder, the device that gives him that trademark booming, deep James Earl Jones voice, gets damaged and he speaks with normal Anakin Skywalker voice inside the armor. If you didn't watch Star Wars Rebels, one of the best scenes during that is Ahsoka doing exactly that, damaging his mask during one of their fights, and he starts to speak as Anakin Skywalker inside the armor briefly.
Ahsoka.
Anakin. I won't leave you. Not this time.
Then you will die.
If they can come even close to a scene with that level of pathos on the new Obi Wan Kenobi series with Hayden Christensen, Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan, I will be happy. But the other footage that they showed off at the panel that they didn't allow online started with a scene of Darth Vader going after some younglings being defended by another Jedi at a different temple, because remember, during this period he's still going around the galaxy hunting down the last of the Jedi that survived Order 66, like Cal Kestis. I will explain where a lot of the other series during this part of the timeline fit in with this Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Then there was another scene on Tatooine of this stingray-like creature floating above slave workers just toiling away in the sand. Ewan McGregor had some voiceover during this part of the trailer where he says, "We start on Tatooine and go on a rollicking adventure." Then they transitioned to a scene of a water planet. It wasn't clear which planet it was. There are a bunch of armored soldiers firing on a bunch of many-armed sea creatures. That was all probably just to let you know that even though Obi Wan Kenobi spent the last 10 years watching over Luke Skywalker on Tatooine, between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, he didn't spend all of his time on Tatooine. So the adventure of the episodes will take him off planet. Then we get a really awesome scene of Darth Vader sitting on his throne in his castle on Mustafar, communicating with a hologram of Emperor Palpatine. I'll talk more about his castle in a second too, because the series takes place the year after his castle finished construction. Then Deborah Chow and the producers ended the trailer talking about how we definitely see Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader getting into it again, fighting each other, showing the Ewan McGregor version of Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting Darth Vader in his armor. The scene was just meant to evoke the imagery from their fight on Mustafar, if you remember all the posters and the concept art that they released before the movie came out. So it was just hyping up that kind of rematch with that level of pathos. But because this is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, that means that Luke Skywalker and Leia are both 10 years old. There were rumors about them casting a young kid version of Luke, but I don't know if they had plans to do a young version of Leia in a cameo scene. You have to remember that the series originally was only going to be 6 episodes, then they chucked a bunch of those scripts, rewrote the series, delayed it a little bit, and turned it into 4 episodes. They didn't say how long the episodes are going to be. I'm assuming a little bit longer than the Mandalorian episodes. The Mandalorian series is just a little bit different with the way they put it together than what it sounds like some of these other mini-series are going to be. And Ewan McGregor did confirm earlier that the Obi Wan Kenobi series is only meant to be one season. So it's just a true one-and-done mini-series. That doesn't mean that's the only time that he'll ever show up in any future Star Wars projects. It just means that they don't have plans for many seasons of Obi Wan Kenobi. As for Ahsoka Tano during this part of the timeline, because this is happening right after she started working with Bail Organa helping the rebellion out, she was very active in the Outer Rim when the events of the Obi Wan Kenobi series will be taking place, so it's possible that she could cameo in the series. There was a rumor a long time ago when they cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano that her contract included multiple appearances on different Disney Plus series. Obviously, during this Disney investor meeting, they confirmed that they're going to do a full-blown Star Wars Ahsoka Tano Mandalorian spin-off series, but that's set during the same time period as The Mandalorian, which is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. But because Rosario Dawson looks exactly the same as she did 10, 15, even 20 years ago, this is a picture of her with Hayden Christensen. They actually did a movie together a long time ago, which is why they were together like this. Don't tempt me, Snips. Post all your Anakin Skywalker Ahsoka memes. My hope is that at least at some point during one of these live-action series, they will do Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson Ahsoka live-action scenes with maybe flashback versions of them together when he was still alive, or in present day, they could still do Anakin Skywalker Force Ghost talking to Ahsoka. So hopefully they'll find a way to do Hayden Christensen in live-action Ahsoka scenes in the future. Ewan McGregor said that the thing about the series that was most exciting to him was that it brought him back together with Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen kind of said the same thing about Ewan McGregor, like, I'm so happy that I get to come back and do this and be with my friend Ewan McGregor again. They're also getting paid a ton of money to do this. When it comes to Darth Maul in the series, because they were hyping up Darth Maul a long time ago, I don't know if he's as big of a villain as they originally intended now that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader. But the series takes place about a year after the events of Solo: A Star Wars Story in this post-credit scene with Darth Maul showing up being the leader of Crimson Dawn. It sounds like eventually they've been trying to get Ewan McGregor to come back and face off with Darth Maul because Ewan McGregor said that originally the Obi-Wan series was a movie that they were going to do, but then they just pivoted to the Disney Plus series when those became a big thing. So at least expecting some Darth Maul cameos, even if he's not a major character during the series. But just in terms of other things happening in the timeline right now, this is a couple years after the events of Jedi Fallen Order where Darth Vader almost catches Cal Kestis with the Jedi holocron with the names of all the other Jedi on it. Is about 5 years before the events of Star Wars Rebels. And if you don't know about Darth Vader's castle, the whole thing with Darth Vader's castle is the reason why it's constructed on Mustafar is because it's sort of a ley line in the dark side of the Force, and he learns that he can use it to construct a portal to enter the afterlife and speak to Padme. So a dark side acolyte helps him construct it, but then tries to betray him, Darth Vader kills him, then winds up entering the portal that's been finished, and the dark side of the Force gives him all these visions. He sees visions of Padme, he sees visions of Ahsoka Tano before their rematch, and he sees Luke Skywalker without knowing that it's Luke Skywalker. He sees him as an adult. But I don't know if they're going to be using this on the series, because after that happened, he got so pissed off that he wound up destroying the portal, so he didn't get to use it again. We saw a lot of the exterior in the upper levels of the castle during Rogue One, so just expect to see a little bit more of that during the Obi Wan Kenobi series. They didn't say exactly when the release date's going to be. It'll be sometime between March 2022 and May 2022. But a really big reminder, this week, my Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 8 finale video is going to post on Friday just like normal. I will be doing Mandalorian Season 3 videos really soon, too. My next video will probably be for the Mandalorian spin-off series, the Ahsoka Tano trailer video with the Grand Admiral Thrawn stuff. I'll explain what's happening during that. Then there's a bunch of Marvel trailers, there's the Rogue One series trailer, and the details about all the other Star Wars series. If you have any big requests or big questions about what's going on during the Obi Wan Kenobi series or The Mandalorian or anything else, just leave them in the comments below. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up. It's going to be really cool. So as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see all those videos. Pretty soon we'll have between 2 and 3 Star Wars series per year and about 4 Marvel series. So it's going to be pretty crazy for the next couple of years, but in the best possible way. They also confirmed that Patty Jenkins is doing the next Star Wars movie. That'll drop Christmas 2023. It'll be Rogue Squadron. She said it's going to be based on a lot of the video games and the books. So if you've read any of the classic Legends books, they'll be pulling a lot of stuff from there. So it'll probably take place closer to the events of the original trilogy. While you wait for everything, click here for my brand new Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 7 video, and click here for that brand new Loki trailer and all the other Marvel trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. This is the way.